Hey, Ella, do you know what day it is?
It's October 3rd.
Get in, students. We're going to lecture.
Hello, everyone. Hope you had another great week. Believe it or not, you've ended week 7 of your time here at UCF. This was a big week as well. Many of you hopefully were able to go to the big UCF career fair at the Additions Arena. I'm sure you experienced maybe a little frustration with some long lines and whatnot, and that's career fair. It is a big event. It's open to everyone, and trust me, it'll get easier as you kind of grow into the college and you just become more familiar with the whole career fair experience. We had you work on your resumes partly because of that career fair. And also there's a method to our madness with the reason that we had you work on your resume. I personally wanted each of you to see when you transition from your high school resume to this new college resume that there might be a lot of white space on that page. And sometimes that visual reality is a good kind of check to make sure that you realize that, you know what, I hate to say it, but you're kind of starting over here. But it's also an exciting time, and there's just so many opportunities here for you. Before you know it, that resume is just going to fill itself up, which is wonderful. For those of you that did not get to attend the career fair or chose not to attend, there's another really wonderful opportunity that I want to let you know about. A very good friend of mine, Sandra Leon Barth, is over in experiential learning, and she runs something called the Night Shadow program. And Night Shadow is great because it's not an internship, so it's not as competitive. You do have to apply, but basically it gives you the opportunity to simply visit a company for a day. And you may think, well, what am I going to learn in a day? Okay, maybe not a ton, but getting into a company through something like a shadowing program gets your foot in the door. I personally know several students just recently who, because of that initial contact and making a good impression at a company in their field or in their major, it led to eventually an internship. As their skills grew, they went back and said, hey, I came here during Night Shadow, loved your company. Since then, I've done this, 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 and this, and you hand the resume, and it resulted in an internship. So please look into the Night Shadow opportunity. There's an in-person meeting and several virtual sessions. They hold the shadowing days after exams. So I believe it's the 9th and the 10th are the dates that you can do the night shadowing in the fall. So again, encourage you to look into that, especially as a freshman when maybe an internship isn't going to happen, right away. Something that is happening right away, literally, is today. Today, Friday, October 3rd, at 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock in our atrium, we have RSOs, Registered Student Organizations, within the College of Engineering and Computer Science, who have come together, and I'm really, really excited about this. They've come together for only you, meaning for freshmen only. The event is called Wayfinder, and it is RSOs, and the only activities and projects that they're advertising and offering at this fair, at this RSO fair, is for freshman students. So many of you have been popping into my office and saying, Miss Sullivan, where can I go? What can I do? I really want to get involved. Well, go to this event, because if you want project work and you want some experience by attending this RSO fair designed only for freshmen, you can grab that opportunity and get involved in a project and gain some technical skills and make friends as well. So please, 1 to 4 p.m. today, get into that atrium. And then finally, I'm here standing in front of a wall basically of flowcharts, which is located in front of the Academic Affairs Office, which is Engineering 1, Room 107. And today's lecture, I really want you to pay attention to, because registration is upcoming. For some of you, you're going to register early, earlier than others. If you're in honors college, if you came in with more credits, you're going to be registering earlier. But the bottom line is that Academic Affairs is going to kind of guide you and give you some advice and tips on registration. Because again, for some of you, you're registering early, and some of you are even registering for not just spring of next year, but summer, and some of you even into the fall of 2026. So it's time to get prepared, all right? And another, I think a key takeaway that you have to be real careful about is that they're going to tell you your shopping cart is going to open. Your shopping cart is where you input your courses that you wish, it's like a wish list, and that's what you want to take. That is going to open up in My UCF. When you put those courses in your shopping cart, you're not done. That's just step one. Step two is to find the date of your actual registration. And I want you to put that in your phone because, you know, it's kind of a competitive thing getting classes, right? So find out when your registration date is and then be sure to save it, okay? So again, pay extra attention today because Academic Affairs is going to help you get ready for registration.
Hello everyone and welcome to our advising lecture for the fall semester. In this presentation we are going to go over a few important things that you need to be aware of as you get ready for enrollment for the spring 2026 term. So by this time, week 7 is almost completed. So we're almost halfway through the semester. It's going by really fast. So this is kind of a good point to kind of check in to see how things are going. If you need help, you know, there are resources such as meeting with your academic success coach, CAPS, going to office hours, and various resources on campus. At this point, I think students should be asking themselves kind of two questions, right? Are things going well and you plan on staying in your courses? And if so, you know, committing to your coursework and doing well in your classes, going to office hours, going to the Student Academic Resource Center if you need help, just making that commitment to finishing the semester strong. The other option is if things maybe aren't going too well and you kind of want to explore your options such as withdrawing from classes. The withdrawal deadline for the fall semester is October 31st. That's a Friday. After that date, students have to stay in the course and earn whatever grade they get. So we still have a little bit of time before that withdrawal deadline, but it's really important that you come speak with an academic success coach about your options and kind of how all the things are involved with the decision to withdraw, whether that's, you know, your financial aid, any university or college policies, or how that will impact your spring schedule for classes. So definitely come in and speak to your coach. If maybe things aren't going well in a class and you just want to explore your options, we can help you with that. Now, under our new coaching model, every student should have an assigned academic success coach. So this individual is here to help you from your very first term all the way to graduation with your academics, goal setting, career exploration, any of the things that you need help with. Your coach can help you with that or direct you to the correct resource on campus to help you further. So if you log into your student portal, under the advisor section on your home page, you'll see your assigned advisor there. Just a note about the College of Engineering and Computer Science, you will have your academic success coach listed there, and you will also have a faculty member who is located in the department will also be listed there under your advisor. So you can always make an appointment through My Night Star with your assigned academic success coach. Kind of a side note about that, once registration gets closer, our appointments fill up extremely fast. Coaches will be booked out a month or more out, so it's really important to be proactive. And if you need that help, schedule the appointment now. Or another option we do host walk-in advising. It's only in person in Engineering 1, Room 107. It's every Tuesday, and you can see the hours posted on the screen. It's 9 a.m. to 11:30, and then after the lunch break, it resumes again from 1 to 4 p.m. So if you just have a quick question and you just maybe need someone to double check your proposed schedule for spring, you can just pop in for walk-ins and get that looked at quickly. Or again, the other option is to schedule an appointment with your coach. We thought this would be a good time to review the withdrawal policy with the university. So this pertains to all of you since you started summer or fall 2025. So with the withdrawal policy, students are allowed up to 6 withdrawals from courses. That is broken down into 2 groups. You have 3 withdrawal options from the 1000 and 2000 level courses, and then you have 3 withdrawals from the 3000 or higher level courses. So 6 total. Students are allowed 2 full semester withdrawals. So if something happens during a semester and you need to withdraw from all of your classes that you're enrolled in, you're allowed to do that twice. If students do a full term semester, those do not count towards the 6 limit withdrawals at the 1000, 2000 level and the 3000 level. They will not count there, but they will count towards the other part of the policy that states students can only withdraw from the same exact course twice. If you withdraw from the same course twice and you're taking it for a third time, you do not have the option to withdraw. You have to remain in that course and earn whatever grade you get. If you have more questions about this policy, you can always speak to your academic success coach about it. We also thought this was a good time to review the CECS progress policy. If you remember from orientation, this is a policy that is just for students in the College of Engineering and Computer Science. And there's 2 components to the policy. You can see in the 2 boxes on the screen. There's a low grade component and the repeat course component. We are looking at both parts of this policy when we're looking at the policy. So for the low grade components, what the college considers a low grade is a C- or below. So you can see all the grades on the screen. NCs, which are no credit, they count as well. Withdrawals count, the Ws, or the late withdrawals. All of those will count as low grades towards the policy. If a student gets to 7 low grades, they're on progress probation, and that just means they'll get an email from their coach each semester all the way to graduation, just sending a reminder about the policy, to keep the policy in mind and to come speak to your coach if you have any questions. If that same student then gets to 10 low grades total, then at that point the student will be redirected from the college, meaning that they can no longer declare any major or minor in the college. They would have to select another major at UCF. Now, the second part of the policy is the repeat course component. If a student is unsuccessful in the same course twice, they'll be placed on progress probation. So again, they will get that email from their coach. If they take that course for a third time and they do not earn a C or better, and they are unsuccessful in the course for a third time, same situation, they will be redirected and will have to choose another major at UCF. With this policy, we are looking at any course taken at UCF, whether it's for your major, a minor, general education requirement, or you're just taking a random class for fun. Any course taken at the university will count towards this policy. So like I mentioned earlier, registration for spring will begin pretty soon, so we want to make sure you are prepared and ready to enroll in your classes when your time comes. So on October 6th, that's a Monday, you will find out when you can enroll. So on October 6th, your enrollment appointment time will be released, which means you will find out the date and the exact time that you'll be able to enroll into the spring semester. So on October 6th, I highly encourage all of you to log into your student portal. Under enrollment dates, you're going to click details, and then you'll see fall 25 and you'll see spring 26. You'll want to click spring 26 and then click continue, and then it will show you a specific date and a specific time, and that is when you'll be able to enroll into your spring classes. On the 6th, your enrollment shopping cart will also open, so you can go in there, look at your enrollment time, and then start adding courses to your spring shopping cart. So that way, whenever your enrollment time does come, you are ready and you just can click your classes and enroll all at once. So that way, it makes enrollment a lot easier than having to search for the classes in that moment. So just a reminder of some academic resources that are available to you. Of course, you have your academic success coach. We are all here to help you if you have any questions or concerns. Again, you can schedule an appointment through My Night Star, or you can attend our walk-in hours on Tuesdays at those times. We also have flowcharts and four-year plans available on our website for students to print or save. So the flowchart for your major will show every single major requirement that you need to complete your degree and graduate. It's kind of like a nice checklist. You can kind of check things off as you go. And then we also have four-year plans, which gives a example of a four-year plan for the major. I will say the four-year plans were created for a incoming freshman that had no incoming credit, so no like AP or dual enrollment or IB credit, none of that. So I always tell students it's a good example, but if you're coming in with any credit, you can't really follow that four-year plan exactly because it's not tailored to you. So it's a good resource to have, but you always want to check with your coach to make sure you're taking the right classes, because you may have credit for something that this four-year plan is suggesting. And then last is your degree audit. The next couple of slides will talk about your degree audit in a little bit more detail. So to access your degree audit, you will log into your student portal, and under your other academic information drop-down menu, you'll click that, and then you'll click where it says degree audit / my night audit. You'll click that, and then you'll click the little blue arrows next to it. Your degree audit is basically a giant checklist of everything you need to graduate and complete your degree. So your degree audit will have all of your general education requirements, the state of Florida requirements, and your major requirements, so that way you can kind of see everything in one spot. So the first section are the general education requirements under section 1. So when we're looking at the general education section, you'll see in section 1 there's section A and there's section B. Section A are the state Common Core requirements. So if you remember from orientation, the GEP sheet you got, the diamond courses, those are the state core classes. So remember, you need one diamond from each of the foundation areas. And then section B are the different general education foundation areas. So you can see Communication Foundation 1, Communication Foundation 2, all of those GEP requirements are listed there. Your goal is to overlap the state core requirements with your GEP requirements, so you can double dip those classes. If you still have your general education requirement sheet from orientation, that is really helpful to kind of keep with you, bring to your coaching session, so that way you can either update it or you have a good reference sheet to use to help kind of guide you through these requirements. So for the audit, if a requirement is satisfied, it will show closed, like Communication Foundation 1. The student has that requirement satisfied, so it's showing closed. And just like the bottom ones as well, the Humanities Foundation, the Math Foundation, all of those are satisfied. If a requirement is not satisfied on the audit, it will open, and it will stay open until it's satisfied. So this student still needs a Communication Foundation 2, so they need to take English Comp 2. So that line on the audit is showing open, letting the student and the coach know that that student still needs to satisfy that requirement. So the audit is a great tool to use. I highly encourage you to become really familiar with it, because it's, like I mentioned, a big checklist for everything that you need, what you have satisfied, and what you still need to complete. Kind of as a side note, the degree audit is what we use to certify your degrees at the end when you're going to graduate. So it's helpful to, be familiar with it, and, if something's not right on the audit, letting your coach know so we can fix it if need be. Now, in that same general education requirement section, there is section C, which are the Gordon Rule requirements. So remember, you have your Gordon Rule writing requirement and you have your Gordon Rule math requirement. You need 4 Gordon Rule writing requirements and you need 2 Gordon Rule math requirements. So same thing like above, if the requirement is not satisfied, it will show open. and it tells you exactly what you need. Like the student has 3 Gordon Rule writing requirements done and they need 1 more, and their Gordon Rule math requirement is satisfied, so that line is showing closed. In the next section on the audit, it's the state of Florida requirements. So there's more to that section. That's where it keeps track of the total credits you need to earn your degree, the GPA requirement, things like that. But at the bottom of the state of Florida section is the civic literacy requirement. So remember, there are 2 components to the civic literacy requirement. You have the course component and you have the exam component. So for the course requirement, you have to take one of those courses listed there to satisfy that requirement, and you must also complete the civic literacy exam. A lot of students who went to high school in Florida took the exam in high school. So if you did that and you see it's still showing not satisfied, definitely reach out to your academic success coach so we can kind of help you with that and see what you need to do to have that satisfied. If you didn't take the exam in high school, then at any point from now until graduation, you need to complete that exam. We always recommend students do it sooner rather than later, so that way you don't forget about it or you leave it for your last semester and you're scrambling to get it done. If you know you need that exam, I definitely encourage you to do it as soon as possible. Now, after the state of Florida section on the audit, we get to the major section, section 3. While you're in engineering pending status, your audit will be a little limited and it's just going to show you the pending requirements. So just as a refresher, to move out of engineering pending, students have to complete Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Physics 1 in the lab, and an appropriate chemistry for their major, along with having at least a 2.0 UCF GPA, so they have to be in good academic standing. Once those requirements are met, the student can move out of pending it into the actual major. So right now you may be mechanical engineering pending. Once you complete those requirements, you'll move into mechanical engineering. So while you're in pending, your major section of your audit will just show you those pending requirements. Remember, it's really important that you move out of pending as soon as you can, because students who are in pending status are limited to what major courses they can take. So the university has an automated change of major process. So let's say currently right now in the fall, you're completing your last 2 pending requirements. Maybe it's Calc 2 and Physics 1 in the lab. Once your final grades post for the fall semester, we will run a automated change of major process. So all students who meet the pending requirements, so they pass all those 4 classes with a C or better, they have at least that 2.0 UCF GPA, we will automatically move them out of their pending major into the actual major. For electrical and computer engineering, you will move to the comprehensive track, and if you want a different track, you can change it on your own after that. If you don't want to wait for that automated process, or maybe right now you already meet all the pending requirements and you're ready to move out of pending, students can always submit their own change of major request through their student portal to move out of pending. Let's say right now you're mechanical engineering pending, but you really want to be aerospace engineering pending, then you would want to go ahead and submit your change of major to change into the right engineering pending major. So that way, when you finish your pending requirements and your auto moved out of pending, you're moved into the right major that you intend to pursue. So just a quick refresher on the math sequence. So for all engineering majors, you're required to take Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Calculus 3, and differential equations. Some engineering majors need some more math, but that is specific to your major. For the students who are in Math Launch, the MAC 1906, you are completing your specific modules based on your math placement scores or incoming dual enrollment credit. whatever you place into, you're finishing those modules to become Calculus 1 ready, hopefully for the spring or in the summer. So for the spring semester, your math will be based on what you complete during your math launch modules. So if you complete all of your modules and you're Calc 1 ready for the spring, you will move into Calc 1 in the spring. But if you are not Calc 1 ready for the spring, you will just take either Math Launch again to finish whatever modules you didn't complete, or you do have the option to take the traditional math course. So instead of doing MAC 1906, let's say a student only needs college trigonometry, they will have the option to enroll into MAC 1114, which is a 3-credit math course. If you're not sure exactly what that means or what option will work best for you, I highly recommend you meet with your academic success coach to kind of talk through those options to see what will be a better fit for you. So for chemistry, remember one of the pending requirements is chemistry for all engineering majors. So we wanted to review the options. All engineering majors, no matter which one you are, everyone has the option to do the chemistry fundamentals, the CHM 2045. To enroll into that course, students need to either have passed college algebra or placed higher than college algebra on the math placement. You also need to either pass the chemistry placement exam or enroll and pass CHM 1025. So all of those are prereqs to enroll into CHM 2045. If you are environmental engineering or material science and engineering, or you're thinking about changing to one of those majors, the CHM 2045 is your only option for chemistry. Now, all other engineering majors who are not environmental engineering or material science, you have the option to do the principles of chemistry, the CHS 1440. There is no exam or prerequisite required for that chemistry course. So you can just enroll in that, and that will satisfy your one chemistry requirement. Again, as long as you are not environmental engineering or material science, or you plan to change to one of those majors. If you're not, then the CHS 1440 is a good option for your chemistry requirement. Also, a side note about the principles of chemistry, the CHS 1440, that is never offered in the summer, so it's only offered in fall and spring semesters. Some majors require COP 3223, which is Intro to C programming. So if you're mechanical, aerospace, or industrial engineering pending, you are required to take this programming class. So we just wanted to review some of the prereqs for this class. So to enroll into COP 3223, you have to have at least one of the following options. You need to either pass the computer science placement exam with a score of 15 or higher, or you need to successfully enroll and pass COP 2500 with a C or better, or if you have a score of 3 or higher on the AP Computer Science A exam. Not the AP Principles exam, it has to be the Computer Science A exam. So for the next couple of slides, we wanted to provide a option schedule for spring 2026 for some of the majors based on the math. So feel free to pause this presentation when you see your major on the screen. I'm going to kind of quickly go through these, not in too much detail, but just kind of general for each of the major groups. But if you have any questions or concerns about your spring schedule, I highly recommend you schedule an appointment with your academic success coach as soon as possible to talk through your options and see what the best schedule would be for you for spring. So on the screen, if you're mechanical, aerospace, or industrial engineering, these are some options for your spring schedule. So option 1 is if you will be Calc 1 ready in the spring or a lower level math. So if you're doing Math Launch or one of the prereqs to Calc 1, that would be your math option. We would suggest you do your chemistry in the spring along with the programming class, whether you can go right into COP 3223 or if you have to take the prereq. We also suggest adding a general education course, and all of you, no matter your major, will need to enroll in EGN 1007 for the spring semester. Spring 26 will be your only semester to take that course. So definitely don't forget to enroll in that. Option 2 for these majors is if you are currently enrolled in Calc 1 for fall and you pass it for fall, you're going to move on to Calc 2. You're going to either do Physics 1 or Chemistry. We usually don't suggest doing two sciences together. That can be pretty heavy, especially with Calc 2, so we would say pick one of them. Again, the same programming, a GEP course, and then your EGN 1007. If you're currently enrolled in Calc 2 or a higher math course, we don't have a mock schedule for you, but I would recommend you go speak to your academic success coach to create a spring schedule for you. So if you are civil or construction engineering, if you will be Calc 1 ready in spring or still working on your Calc 1 prereqs in spring, we would suggest those math classes, your chemistry, 2 general education courses, and of course the EGN 1007. If Calc 1 will be completed by the end of fall, for spring you'll move on to Calc 2, Physics 1 or Chemistry. Again, we don't recommend them together. Your EGN 1007, and either a GEP course if you need one, or EGN 3613, which is a major specific course for those two majors. If you are environmental engineering, if you will be Calc 1 ready in spring or still working on your Calc prereqs, we suggest that for spring. Your chemistry, remember, you only have the option to do the CHM 2045 for your chemistry, 2 GEP courses, and then your Intro to Engineering, your EGN 1007. If Calc 1 will be done by the end of fall, for spring we suggest Calc 2, again Physics 1 or Chemistry, your Intro to Engineering, and a GEP or the EGN 3613 course. If you are computer or electrical engineering, if you're Calc 1 ready for spring, you'll take that, or if you're still working on your prereqs, your chemistry, your EGN 1007, a GEP, and then EGN 3211. That is a programming course specific to computer and electrical engineering majors. If Calc 1 will be completed by the end of fall, for spring we suggest Calc 2, Physics 1 or Chemistry, EGN 1007, a GEP, and then that programming course, the EGN 3211. If you're photonics, either Calc 1 or a lower level math in the spring, your chemistry, 2 GEPs, and your Intro to Engineering course. And then if Calc 1 will be completed in the fall semester, for spring we suggest moving on to Calc 2, Physics 1 or Chemistry, a GEP, your Intro to Engineering course, and then OSC 2050, which is a Intro to Photonics course. If you're a photonics major, I definitely recommend you reach out to Mike McKee. He is the Associate Director for Photonics Program, and he'd be more than happy to meet with you and kind of create a plan and give you more information about the photonics major if you need that. His email is on the screen as well. And then for material science majors, if you're Calc 1 ready for spring, you'll take that, or your lower level math prerequisite, the CHM 2045, remember that is your only chemistry option, 2 GEPs, and your EGN 1007. And then if your Calc 1 will be done in the fall, you can move on to Calc 2, Physics or Chemistry, a GEP, and again, your Intro to Engineering, your EGN 1007. So I know I went pretty quickly through these, but you can always go back in the presentation and pause it on your major. And then again, you can always come speak to your coach if you have questions about your spring schedule. So just a few tips to prepare for registration, because it will come up pretty soon. You definitely want to check to see if you have any registration holds. If you have any holds that are blocking your enrollment, you definitely want to address them and take care of them before your enrollment starts, because if any holds that block enrollment are still on your account by the time you can enroll, it obviously will not let you. So you don't want any surprises. So definitely check your holds now to make sure you're good to go. Definitely review your degree audit. Make sure any incoming credit you had is posted and it's posted correctly. If something is missing, that may impact your enrollment for spring. If something doesn't look right or you have questions about your audit, definitely meet with your coach and they can kind of comb through it and see, what is going on. On October 6th, remember you'll find out when you can actually enroll and your shopping cart will be available. So on October 6th, check your enrollment date, start adding courses to your shopping cart for spring, and just prepare for whenever your enrollment is. It will most likely be later on in October, probably towards the second half of October. And then if you're in Math Launch, the MAC 1906, make sure you are working through your modules in Math Launch, really dedicating your time to the math because your goal is to be Calc 1 ready for spring. So keep working hard on that and working through your modules. So that is all the information we have for you today. If you have any questions or concerns or anything pops up, definitely reach out to your academic success coach. You can schedule an appointment through My Night Star. You can stop by our office in Engineering 1, room 107. And then again, you can always attend walk-ins if you have a quick question. You can kind of pop in and out. Again, as a reminder, appointments will start filling up very quickly, especially once enrollment times are posted on October 6th. So I encourage you to be proactive and to get ready for registration and not save things for the last minute. So just be prepared and proactive, and we are here to help you if you have any questions or need any help. Have a great day. Great day. Definitely.
Hi, I'm Zoe,
I'm Tristan,
and we are part of the Night Special Effects Club, or KSEC.
a new organization that got started here at UCF for engineering and anyone who's interested in films.
Yeah, we are based on 4 different tracks. So we have pyrotechnics, which is basically anything that explodes. We have visual effects, which is anything that is like editing software or after film. We also have practical effects, that's anything in front of the camera. And we have an animatronics and robotics track.
On top of all the cool technical things that you can learn through all these cool tracks, we also have professional development, including resume workshops, LinkedIn workshops, and a SolidWorks workshop that I'll be hosting myself. It's a great way to get introduced to the engineering world and a professional environment. We're using cool things such as special effects and like a really good way to get introduced yourself with some cool people.
Yeah, we are the intersection between arts and engineering. So no matter your major, you are welcome here for sure. We have a bunch of upcoming events, so go ahead and check out our Discord and scan the QR code on the screen.
Thank you guys and have a great day.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Aaron. I'm one of your TAs for your labs. I'm a junior here at UCF, and I'm currently studying electrical engineering. And this is...
I'm Aiden Jordan. I'm a senior in mechanical engineering, also with a minor in engineering leadership.
What clubs are you active in here on campus?
So, when I first got to campus, I participated in AIAA, and I did the Rocket League for a year. From there, I went to Eli Squared, and I've been with Eli Squared ever since. That's the Engineering Leadership and Innovation Institute. The former 2 years, I had leadership roles there, leading different technical projects. This year, I've kind of stepped down due to just senior design and a lot of other life things that I have going on between senior design, 2 different capstones on top of that, and multiple jobs. But yeah. What about you?
I'm in IEEE, which is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. And I'm also part of the RCC here at UCF, which is the Rock Climbing Club. I used to be, not a club, but on campus I used to be active at the Knights Helping Knights Pantry, which is a very good place to volunteer if you guys have the time to do so. What would you recommend, like, as a tip from all your club experience?
Learn how to define your problems. Here at UCF and in your academic career, you're going to learn how to analyze problems and develop solutions for well-defined problem sets. in your career, you're going to have to define your own problems. So find clubs where you can define your own parameters and design to those parameters. Learn how to define parameters. Learn how to define your problems. There's an equation I like to say, a well-defined problem plus a well-defined solution is a happy customer. We teach you about how to make solutions, but you need to figure out how to write the problems. So find that extracurricular experience. What
That's
about
really
you?
good. Me? I would say just getting involved in the first place is a good idea. I find a lot of people don't get involved in the clubs here at UCF, and they allow many great opportunities for you to grow and to gain experience in your major instead of just the theory. Sometimes practical application is very useful in understanding and just growing in your degree. Do you have anything off campus that you like to do?
Well, I am married with 2 dogs, so I spend a lot of time with my family, a lot of my downtime's there. Apart from that, it's often working or grading or doing something like that. I don't have a lot of free time nowadays, unfortunately, but it's that senior year grind. And I'm very happy to be here. I can't wait for the finish line, you know? What about you? What are you doing off campus?
I rock climb a lot, obviously, since I'm in the rock climbing club. I like to cook. I really like cooking. Outside of that, I don't really do much aside from hang out at home too and study, and that's pretty much it.
Well, it's been very nice to get to know you guys, and I appreciate your time getting to know us.
So we're gonna see you guys at Go for Launch for the GTAs now. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, welcome to Go for Launch with the GTAs. This week during lecture, you had the opportunity to hear from Anna over at Academic Affairs about all of the things you need to know for registration. You met 2 of our TAs, Aiden and Aaron. And then let's get into some of your announcements for this week.
All right, as another reminder, today from 1 to 4 in the Engineering 2 atrium, there is a freshman RSO event, and it's going to have all the clubs that have projects strictly for you guys. It's only freshman-based projects, and I will also be there representing the class if you have any questions about that. So make sure you are attending it at any point from 1 to 4. Learn about all the different opportunities. We were talking about resumes last week. That'll definitely help build up that resume. So make sure you're checking that out and see if anything strikes your fancy.
Yep. And then as a reminder, your enrollment date becomes available on my UCF on October 6th. So that is coming up quite early next week. So make sure you're getting in there, putting things in your shopping cart so that way you can enroll as soon as that opportunity opens.
And now for the flyer that's coming up right now, it's going to be the STEM AIM High event. This is an event where you get to connect with different industries and learn a little bit more about how all of that works. So make sure you check that out.
Yep, it's in the Pegasus Ballroom, open to everyone. It's a really cool opportunity. As a reminder as well, your SimNet Chapter 6 is due this coming Sunday, so make sure you're doing that. And before we wrap up here, Ella, we've got to tell them about our study spot this week.
We are at an undisclosed location on campus in a building.
We could tell them what building, maybe.
We're in HEC. It is the L3 Harris building. That's very close to Engineering 1.
And it's got a really awesome view if you like studying somewhere that has a quiet space, but also some nice light. And you don't want to travel to Panera.
With outlets.
With outlets.
Yep.
That's important. Hey guys, one quick bonus announcement from us. Due to the way your lecture's syllabus was written, we are opening up the attendance quiz for today till 11:59. So 11:59 on October 3rd.
Yep. We still encourage you to get it done now since everything is still fresh in your brains. But if you, for whatever reason, need to wait a little bit, then it is open until 11:59. Just do not forget the quiz code that will pop up for you here now.
And as a reminder, October 3rd, 11:59 p.m. is when it's due. That's tonight. Bye.